All right, let's get to this. So, I just forgot to turn my light on so you can't see my baby face. There you go. Now you can see my baby face better. LTTstore.com. Okay, so everybody, I wanted to give you an update on everything that's going on. So, in terms of the face shield project, we have set up on our site now a form where if you're in the medical or EMS category for your profession, you can submit requests to us. Now, we're processing these requests as quickly as we can, but the problem right now is going to be related to the operations update after this. So right now, we're trying to get everything organized and moving smoothly in terms of being able to get these face shields packaged and processed. We are doing a bleach wash for 10 minutes for the shields themselves. The only thing that's difficult to properly sterilize is the actual plastic fronts. So obviously the laser isn't going to be perfectly sterile and whatnot. So we're trying out different things because bleach leaves streaks. So right now we're just letting people know to go ahead and clean them with IPA or glass cleaner, something that's not going to leave streaks when they get them from us. But we're trying to find a more efficient way of sterilizing them that also leaves them usable out of the package in terms of visibility. So we're pre-packing them into packs of 10 frames with 12 of the actual face shields themselves, the plastic front part. Whatever you want to call that part, but they consist of the frame and the plastic sheet. So we are cutting the plastic sheets on the laser cutter here. I'm going to see if I can figure out how to use our bigger 80-watt one. I only have experience that's limited with our little 40-watt one that's in the garage right next to me. And even this one can do, one sheet every 10 seconds. So, but somebody has to be there, cut one, pull it out, put the new one in, start it again. So the problem is time. I've been overworking myself and I need to throttle back on that. Otherwise, if I do get sick or come down with it, I'm going to be basically screwed. So I have to throttle back how much I'm working on the company stuff and this project. But what I'm trying to do is see if we can hire some additional people, even on a temporary basis, to see if we can get more assistance going with the face shield project themselves. The actual TH3D operations are running pretty smoothly here. Our main shipping person, which is Rachel, she's still working and she's healthy and isolating. So basically her and her husband are isolating, and the only people they're interacting with is the people here, which would be myself, Samantha, and Noah, and everybody here has agreed that they will be limiting contact with the outside world and being careful when they're going out. So hopefully we can all maintain good health here and keep operations running for the sake of the company and the face shield project. I do want to say, now moving into the operations update, actually there's a couple of things to cover with the face shield project. And that would be if you are able to produce the frames and or the plastic sheets, meaning you're able to get them cut and processed in terms of the sheets, and the face shield frames in terms of being able to print them. As long as you're printing the same sheet, the same STL file, which is on our website, if I'll bring it up here so I can just show you guys what that looks like. Let me pull it up on my monitor share here. So if you go to the top of the page, you'll see COVID-19 help, and there's two options. There's a face shield request form, which takes you to this page here. And this is for if you're in the medical or EMS field and you want to request them, and there's different quantities. Now, I want to be clear that you're not guaranteed to get these right now because we're still trying to get production moving smoother and faster and more efficiently. So Samantha is taking these requests and putting them into a spreadsheet so we can see how many people requested them and who is requesting them, and getting in contact with them so we can get all these requests fulfilled. Just in the last 48 hours since we put this page up, we've got requests for almost 600 of them. So that means I have to be cutting. I have 1,100 of the plastic sheets, and after this stream, I'm not going to be doing tickets. I'm not going to be replying to customers or forum posts or Facebook posts. So I just want to be very clear that my time is now shifting to this project. I will be getting back to our customers in terms of our tickets and, posts, but it's going to be every other day. I'm going to take literally an entire day of my time dedicated to getting these shields cut on our laser, and in between that also making sure all of the printers in my office are running. They're not right now, but every single machine here is no longer doing any parts for TH3D. These are all being used to produce the face shield frames. There's not a single machine in here that is being used for anything other than the face shield frames. Luckily, we did get people that donated some random rolls of PLA to us, and I really appreciate it because we're almost through all the random stuff we've had laying around. In the last couple of days since we started printing these shields, we have burned up about 25 rolls of PLA making these. So, yeah, it's a lot of work. I'm trying my best here, and I just wanted to let people know that if things are coming through my way in terms of tickets or support requests, they will be delayed because I'm trying to get this also done, at least until I can get another person in here that can hopefully work on off hours, meaning when we're all closed, and I'm trying to get some sleep. They can be out here in my little garage workshop making sure the printers are running and the laser, and we will be paying them as an employee, and TH3D will be funding all those expenses associated with any additional labor. We're already paying our guys right now to produce these face shields on our own dime. We're not accepting any sort of financial contributions. We're self-funding this. The only thing we will take is donations of materials or finished products. I don't want to be getting into dealing with crowdfunding and all this other stuff because tax-wise and billing-wise, it's a nightmare. So the easiest thing to do is for us to accept donations of materials so we can just put those right into service for this project. So, Joe, yes, I really appreciate it. We literally just started using the stuff you dropped off the other day, and it is coming in handy. Because like I said, I had probably about 30 or 40 rolls. Most of them were full that were just random rolls I've accumulated over the years, and we're already burned all the way through those. I'm even burning up the tiny little sample spools that come with a lot of the Creality and other machines. Those are being used right now to make the shields. So back to this form, though. So if you are in the medical or EMS field, you can fill this form out. We have a bunch of legalese on here that, basically acknowledges that we're not responsible for this. So right now, the U.S. administration has enacted the immunity protection in this situation, meaning that we cannot be legally liable for any issues that arise from these shields that we're making, which is really good because no one would be doing this if they had the risk of being sued for whatever reason. We're just trying to help out here. We're trying to do what we feel is right and what is needed and trying to give back to the communities. That's what we're doing right now. So if you want to help us out, I want to be very clear. So you can go to, if you hover over COVID-19 help, there's a green volunteer/donate. If you go to this page, there's a thing here telling how you can help out. And I want to be very clear. Only send stuff to us if you do not have a local place to do this, to donate these to. I don't want to be taking away from any other local communities if you're able to help them out directly. The only way you should send us stuff is if your local areas have denied taking any sort of 3D printed items and they don't want them. So if you've produced a bunch and you don't have a place to get them to, we are taking those. And like I said, I do prefer that you guys if you're going to be printing them, this is a very good design. It's quick to print, it's efficient, and it works. There's no elastic bands needed for it. And I have provided right here a link directly to the STL file, as well as credit to 3D Verkistan, who's the one who designed this. Now, in terms of cutting the sheets, for some reason they didn't. I think because this was just intended for use with a 3-hole punch. There were no laser files for this particular frame. We've gone ahead and modified one of the existing ones they supplied, and if you click here, this face shield cut laser files or cut files LB. If you download that, inside it is the Lightburn file for Lightburn that we use, as well as the exported SVG. So if you're going to be cutting them, please do it with the same exact file we're using, so that way it all fits. If you send us a bunch of sheets that aren't cut to the same exact file we're using, they're going to be useless to us. So please make sure, if you are going to cut sheets and send them our way, that you're using the same cut files that we are. If you want to donate supplies, so like I said, we're not taking monetary donations. I don't want to get involved with that. I don't want anyone to ever be able to say that we were stealing money or whatever. And plus, like I said, accounting wise, it's going to be complicated. So I don't want to be dealing with any of that crap. I'm just trying to help out here and use our company to do something good, using our money, our resources, our time to try to give back to the communities here. So what we're looking for is the 1.75 millimeter PLA. It can be any brand, any color, even abrasive stuff, glow in the dark. It doesn't matter. We have printers that can eat up all this plastic. PETG, if you have PETG, we're not printing PETG right now. It's all PLA because PLA is good for these, and all of our machines are set up for PLA. And I'd like to not have to complicate our process right now of having changed our G-code files for different settings because of PETG. But if you did want to send PETG, we might eventually be able to set up 1 or 2 machines here that they're going to only print PETG. But the reality is we have a ton of machines that are set up for printing PLA 24/7. The next thing is the overhead transparency sheets. And if you notice, I have the priorities listed here of medium and high priority. So currently I have about 1,100 of these sheets right now, so it's not a high priority. And like I said, today I'm literally going to spend most of this day cutting those sheets and getting them ready on our laser here. So it's very boring, it's very repetitive, but it has to get done. And then gallon size Ziploc bags. I've ordered a couple hundred of them through our business Amazon account, and hopefully they'll be here this weekend. But we're packing all these into gallon size Ziploc bags. So the process we're using right now is the face shield frames are going into a bath of 10 parts water to 1 part bleach. And yes, I saw there's a comment. Yes, we're using real bleach with sodium hypochlorite. We're actually using commercial grade bleach, and even diluted, it hurts your hands. So we have to handle it with gloves. So they go into there. As soon as they come out, the person handling them has gloves on, a face shield themselves, and a mask. So we have like the surgical style masks. We don't have, I think I've got like 2 N95s, and I've already used them, so I'm not going to cross contaminate, but we do have surgical masks. Some of our Chinese suppliers were very kind and they sent us some masks. So we do have some masks, and what I'm trying to do is limit contamination once they come out of the bleach. So once they come out of the bleach, they go onto my workbench, which has been completely doused in a bleach solution. Nothing else is going on there, so that has been sterilized the best I can. They go on there, they get dried off with a clean shop rag. We have a box of disposable ones, so we dry them off with that, and they go right into the plastic bags. Yeah, the PLA isn't affected at all by the bleach. It's pretty resilient to chemicals, surprisingly. So we're bagging those. The only thing that's slowing us down is trying to figure out how to properly clean and sanitize the plastic portion, because bleach leaves streaks. Even though we can let the plastic sit in the bleach, it doesn't affect the quality or integrity of it. The issue is that we can't clean it very quickly. We'd be going through 1 million paper towels, and right now, as you guys know, people are stupid and buying them out, so they're in short supply. I could switch over to using isopropyl alcohol, but right now, instead of $20 a gallon that we usually pay for IPA, because we use it for the resin printers and cleaning beds in the print farm, people are price gouging at over $100 a gallon right now, so I can't even get it quickly, and if we do, it's 5-6 times the cost. So I'm trying to figure out how to do that, whether we just leave that up to the hospitals to disinfect. I'm not sure yet, but I have about 12 gallons of commercial grade bleach. I was able to get a couple cases of that because I knew we were going to need a ton of it to dilute down and clean all the surfaces. So we've got spray bottles of a bleach water mix everywhere in the house, the garage, and the shop, and we're constantly disinfecting surfaces all the time. It smells like you're doing laundry in here. So if you do want to send us stuff, you don't have to disinfect it. I would recommend you don't, because we're going to do that anyways. If you are sick, let us know. Put a note or something on the box, and we will let those sit for a week. I think, or even 9 days. I think 9 days is the number I'm hearing, just to make sure that if there was anything on it, like you have COVID and you might have had the virus on the print, within 9 days from what I was reading, it should be dead by then. Or just let us know so we know to handle it with gloves and a respirator and a shield. And then once it goes into the bleach, it's really not going to matter. It's going to kill it. So, but if you want to send us, and like I said, don't send us stuff unless you've already reached out to your own local resources, your hospitals, your EMS people, fire, police, that kind of stuff. Because I don't want to take away from other people's local areas that they could be directly helping. So if you guys have a local place to give to, I would recommend doing that instead of sending them to us. Only send us stuff if you have nowhere else to send your stuff to, and we'll make sure it gets in the hands of people. We've got a lot of local requests right now, but I also have a bunch of shipping requests in multiple different states far from us, and we will be getting those out to them. Depending on the shipping costs, we're also going to try to cover that as well. We're looking into financially if this is something that we can write off, if there's any way we can do that, because I also don't want to tank us in terms of trying to make a ton of these and then, we deplete our reserves because we're pouring a ton of money. I would love to, but I have to be smart still with the business stuff. So we're not charging at all for the face shields themselves. The only thing we would ever bill would be shipping if it's a really high cost. But if you want to send us parts, materials, like let's say you got a ton of rolls laying around, partial rolls, I don't care. As long as there's a decent amount of filament still on the spool, I don't care if it's been sitting out for a year, 2 years, 10 years. I don't care. If you got random filament laying around that you don't want, send it to us. We will use it. We have filament sensors on all the printers, so when they run out, we'll have masks that are 2 different colors because we're just burning through it as fast as we can. All these small rolls, partial rolls, they're all getting burned up for this, and we're through most of our stuff. So there is an info here. You can fill out your name, your email, phone number is optional. What you want to do, send us materials or face shield parts, and how you want to ship us. So if you're going to ship it USPS, I have provided our PO box here, which we are collecting from. Our shop, the physical address I'm at is actually, our shop is on the same property as our house, and I don't like putting our public address out there. However, I will send you, after clarifying with you to make sure you're not some weirdo, I will send you our address to ship directly here if you're using another carrier like UPS or FedEx or whatever. So if you guys are going to use USPS, go ahead and just I will reply to emails. I'm trying to get back to everybody. But the reality is, if you're going to send us especially materials, just go ahead and send them. If you're using USPS, use this, and then make sure you put COVID-19 face shields in the second address line so we know that that's what it is, because I'm going to tell my guys to look out for this as we get packages in, that if you see stuff with this is face shield stuff and it needs to go to a different location. But if you're doing another carrier, or let's say you're buying stuff from eBay or Amazon or another retailer, you're not really going to know what they're going to ship. So in this case, if you see here, it says our shop address will be emailed to you once we get your request. And right here, since our shop is at the same location or home, we do not post this information publicly. So if you're going to drop ship from Amazon or eBay or Best Buy or whatever, wherever you can find the PLA and the gallon Ziploc bags or the plastics, we'll provide you with our address to drop ship to us. And then if there's any information like what you want to send to us and how many, you can put a note here, and then there's a caption on the page. So that's where we're at right now. In terms of our staff, our part-time shipping person, she's sick with a cold, we believe, but we don't even want that around here. So she's been instructed to stay home. She's not working. As you guys know, Aaron's been out. It'll be, I think, 3 weeks on Friday. but he had a scare where they thought his nephew had COVID. He ended up not having COVID, but as soon as we found out that he might have been exposed, we sent him home over 2 weeks ago. And the problem is, during the time that he was waiting to get the results back from his nephew, he was actually able to get in and tested along with some of his family members. But during the time of them going to the hospital to get tested, they ended up being exposed to COVID, and we're pretty sure he has it right now. So I appreciate if everybody can keep your thoughts and prayers for Aaron and his family. So I know I've been talking to him, and he's doing fine. He's just exhausted and drained. And I really hope he gets better soon, because he is very instrumental to our operations here. A lot of the stuff that he handles is now falling on me. So I'm quite honest with you guys right now. I'm pretty overwhelmed with everything going on. And the only way I'm not going to literally break down and not, and be useless is by pulling back a little bit. And yes, that means restricting how quickly I'm getting back to people and how much time I'm able to put into this project right now, but it's what I have to do right now, because if I get burned out and also get sick at the same time, it's not going to be good for anybody. So the way you guys can help us out is by printing those face shield frames. And again, do not send stuff to us unless you're sure that there's no people local to you that can benefit from these. I don't want to be taking away resources and frames and stuff from other places if you guys are able to get them to people locally. That's your number one priority. If you have a local place to get the face shields to, then go ahead and do that. I want you guys to help out your local communities. I want all of us to band together right now and show the world that makers are good people and that we care, and we're going to use our skills to help the world out during this crisis. It's a great time for us to shine and to do good in the world, and that's why this is important to me. I've always been doing volunteer stuff, not as much recently because the company's been consuming so much of my time, but especially when I was younger, I was in the Boy Scouts. We did a ton of volunteer work, and it feels good to be able to be giving back again. So I'm asking you guys to use your skills, use your resources to help everybody out right now in these tough times. Help give them some hope that everybody's here for them, that we care, and that we are doing good, and we are good people. That's about it. I'm just trying to keep everything together. Trying to move forward. I'm going to see if I can try to find some people locally here that we can hire on a temporary basis through this, so we can have them exclusively working on these face shields. They're not going to be doing TH3D product stuff. We would literally be hiring extra people just to work on this project. I really don't care at this point if we're able to write it off or not. What's important to me is getting these done and getting these out to people that need them sooner than later. So, but yeah, that's it. I am looking into ways to optimize printing. I have like my Woody printer. You guys remember Woody? Woody's been printing face shield frames, but Woody can only fit one on its bed at a time. I did find a modified STL. Thank you, Derek. I will. Guys, don't give money through I mean, we do get some of it, but Google takes like a 30% cut. But I will. I am going to see if I can order some, at least get some orders rolling. If they get here in a week, from Amazon and other vendors, at least they'll show up, and hopefully we can ride out what we have here while the next supply shows up. So, but in terms of optimizing the printers, I found sorry, I was up till 5 a.m. and I took a nap for a couple hours, and I'm still tired. I digress. Anyways, there's been people that have been playing with stacking them vertically. While it does use more material, I've been trying to do it, and I'm having issues with them sticking together. I did find a new STL that I think it was 9412 props or something posted. Someone linked it, and I have that slice and I'm going to try it on Woody and see if that works. So if that works, we're going to be considerably upping production because we'll be able to stack them on the printers. What I don't want to do is if there's a higher risk of waste. Right now, I don't want to be wasting plastic trying to figure out other ways that work. So I'm going to try just one or two things to see if we can be able to stack them on the printers and be able to have longer prints running, but then more shields per print coming out, or more shield frames per print coming out of that. I've tried doing multiple sheets of the plastic on the laser, and the reality is, without a way to space it, which takes a lot of time, the plastic will just end up melting together, and we're not able to separate it without ripping the sheets. So the plastic sheets have to get cut one at a time. I think tomorrow I'm going to go out to the shop and see if I can figure out how to get the... sorry, I'm trying not to yawn, that's why I'm pausing. See if I can try to get the 80 watt online, because that's got a 20 by 27 cut area, so I should be able to fit many sheets on there at once and be able to knock out a bunch at one time instead of one at a time. So, but that I haven't spent much time with that machine. I've spent more time with our K40 here, and the K40 is working. So right now I'm just trying to get stuff done and moving and out to people that need it. And like I said, we have 2 people out right now. We have our part-time shipping person who's out. And then my main guy, Aaron. Sorry, guys. My main guy, Aaron, he is out and sick right now. So if you guys can please keep him in your thoughts and prayers, I'd really appreciate it. It sounds like he's going to pull through. But the thing that concerns me is he does have asthma, and that is a high-risk category. So I hope that he's going to get better. I talked to him yesterday, and he's basically just been getting a ton of rest and taking cough medicine. So I really hope that he is able to pull through this and get through it quicker. It's a good idea. Put paper between the sheets. I will try that. Is there a way of making the face shields without a laser? You can use a 3-hole punch, I'm told. I'm sorry, guys. I'm going to keep you audited. I'm all out of energy drinks, too. So, yeah, you can try to use a 3-hole punch. I think there's a way to space it out where you can get the same hole spacing that we have with the frames we're using. Yeah. The only problem now, Robert, with the paper is that we're going to be wasting a ton of paper cutting them. It's almost not worth it. And then we have to actually, like, thinking about that, we'd actually have to be putting them in between the sheets, which is going to take more time, and then we're wasting a ton of paper. But I just want to give you guys an update on here. Stuff is shipping out normally. So in terms of shipping operations, that's right now, as of making this video, everything's normal. I really appreciate everybody's support and people buying stuff from us right now, because the revenue from the store is what's funding this. It's really good that we're able to reallocate our time and funds and resources to actually doing some good instead of just trying to make a ton of money all the time. Like, well, that would require me to make a ton of money all the time, but I digress. But the point is, I'm glad that our company is able to do something positive right now. I'm glad that we're actually able to be in a position where we can help out. And as long as we're in a position where we're able to help out, I'm going to do it. And for as long as I can. It's something that's needed right now. This isn't meant to be a publicity stunt. This is something that I truly believe in that's going to help out, and I really appreciate everybody else that's doing this around the world, whether it's other companies or individuals. I really, really appreciate everything, and it's really good to see people coming together and doing something positive when all we're seeing is tons of negative stuff in the media and everything. I've just stopped watching the news. I've stopped reading news stories because it's the same thing. The sad reality is, during all this stuff, like, people are going to get sick, people are going to die, and I don't need to be hearing that every single day that more people have died, that more people have gotten sick. It's not good for your mental health. So if you guys are feeling stressed out about it, take a break from the news and social media and put your time and energy into something positive. something that you can feel like you're actually helping out and making a difference, because we don't have control over this thing. It's just going to be there. It's going to take its course. But what we can do is use our time and resources to try to help everybody out in the world and try to help mitigate this issue until it's under control. Be honest with you guys, I have a really hard time giving up control of things in general. So this is really hard for us, considering that we literally have no control over this. If our business starts slowing down and we tank, it's not because we fucked up anything. It's because people aren't spending money on printers or parts or anything. But we're holding in there as long as we can. I'm going to keep trying to keep everything moving. And like I said, right now sales are strong. I'm assuming it's because people are at home and using their machines. And right now we're able to get you guys out the parts you're ordering in a timely manner. We only had one delay, and that was on Monday because we got a large amount of orders over the weekend. But as of right now, everything is shipping next day or same day, depending on when you order. So, like I said, for your guys' mental sanity, if you're in the same boat where you were checking it all the time and just feeling terrible, just take a break from the news and social media, go offline and do something that is going to make you feel good. Get a project done, go work on something in the house, clean your office, organize your parts, do something to take your mind off of it. It's going to go away and things will eventually return to normal. This isn't the apocalypse. This isn't something that is going to destroy the entire planet. It's going to return to normal once all this starts getting throttled down. Stay at home, limit your distance and interaction with people, and we're going to be okay. It's just going to take time. In the meantime, what we can do is try to help out everybody else right now and do what we can. And if you're in a position to help other people out, I highly recommend you do so. The more we help out, the better everybody's going to be in the long run. So that's about it. I'm going to end the stream here in a sec, and then I'm going to go put on some music and literally stand in front of a laser cutter for a couple hours until I get a couple hundred of these sheets done so we can start getting the request fulfilled. So, yeah, we're using letter size here in the US. That's what we have. Yeah, that's about it. So I appreciate everybody's support. Like I said, if you want to get involved, the first thing to do is see if you can locally help out your own areas. Don't send us stuff unless you've gone through and tried to contact local EMS and medical providers in the area to see if you can help them out directly. I don't want to be taking away resources from other places outside of here. And like I said, we are going to be fulfilling requests and shipping these out to people. So we're not just going to be focusing on our local area. It would be preferred because then we're not having to ship stuff, but we will do it. That's where we're at. So I'm going to go start cranking out the sheets. There's links on the page. If you go on our website, hover over COVID-19 help, there's a thing that says volunteer/donate in green. There are links to the sheets and filament and Ziploc bags. They take you just to an Amazon link. And it's just a search so you can get an idea of what you're looking for. But for the sheets, they're overhead transparency sheets, letter size. That's what we're using. So, and like right now I have over 1,000 of them that need to get cut. So I'm going to get off here and get those cut. The higher priority right now is filament. Like I said, we're burning up a couple rolls a day. These face shields don't use a ton of plastic, but when we have a ton of printers running, cumulatively, if that's the right word, they use a lot in one day. So we have plenty of plastic right now. We got at least enough for another 5 to 6 days, and I'm going to be ordering some random stuff that I can get my hands on, unlike Amazon and eBay and other retailers. I'm going to reach out to some local places as well. In terms of the sheets, they're something acetate. I pulled up the data sheet on them, but we're venting all the exhaust for our lasers outside and where there's people not around. So we should be good. I know polycarbonate is not something you want to cut on a laser because it can release some pretty gnarly stuff. So, anyways, I appreciate everybody. I hope you guys are staying safe. I hope you guys are staying sane. Like I said, take a break from the news and the videos and articles. Go do something else. Take your mind off it for a little bit. It's okay. You know, we're gonna all get through this. We're gonna be fine. It's not the apocalypse. And, you know, those of you guys that are worried about the economy and everything, it sucks right now. It's gonna suck for a little bit. But the good thing is, in situations like this, all that stuff rebounds very quickly once we start returning to a normal way of life. So, you know, keep that in mind, because there is hope, and we will get through this. You know, society is not going to collapse because of a little virus. We're just having to change our ways for a little bit. And what we can do right now is help out everybody else by getting them the equipment they need. And that's what we're trying to do here. So everybody, thanks for watching. And as always, happy printing. Take it easy. I got to go cut some sheets.